What's up, everybody? This is Dayfri, and I've had a ton of people ask me to kind of post like a rotation video, press video, just kind of like what I look at, and because it feels like it's not a thing anymore. It's Comp 2K anyway. So I'm gonna go over three guard press. I'm gonna go over just like a different variations to how to run it. I'll go over a couple different rotations too, depending on if I have like the film on it. And I'll kind of start doing breakdowns on our games when we lose them. Like we lost to Bear and them, or excuse me, Spam, Glizz, Two-Tack, and all them. And like the games that we won, our press worked really, really well. The games that we lost, obviously, it wasn't great on the press. But I want to kind of break down our press and kind of show it just for guys that are trying to get into Comp Pro-Am to kind of understand like the thought process of why we do certain things. So we'll just go and get right into it. So the full start of the press anyway. So the big deal about kind of the back ends anyway, the back end scenario, just so you can keep your power forward in the pick and roll, you always want to have your power forward on the shooting guard side. So with this point guard starting this left side, your power forward has to be opposite. Just because if he's not, obviously then the center's gonna have to be in it, power forwards on single side, stuff like that. But the whole point of the press, so the whole idea of it anyway, is we want our shooting guard to kind of either blitz him here on this baseline, or we want him to blitz him here in the middle. Obviously, Joe and this is Wolf in this scenario. Wolf is kind of our shader, so Wolf is going to shade basically the center coming up. He's going to try to basically play in between. If Joe does a good enough job of pushing him in a bad spot, Wolf can pick when he wants to blitz. Ideally, you want to kind of blitz in these areas right here, or even if this kid wraps, we can have green light come and blitz, and then Wolf can kind of play in between everything. But just to kind of give y'all an idea, and you'll kind of see it off this first clip of what it's going to look like. But the kind of the start of it anyway, on three guard, you want your point guard to guard the hash. And obviously, depending on the hash, depending on who the shooting guard is, like Glizz, Two-Tack, those guys, they're like Thule, those guys are super good. They can score. You might want to put a better defender here, but depending on how you play it, you can get away with your point guard being here if he's actually talking, calling out his releases, stuff like that. So we'll just kind of watch it through. So obviously Joe kind of does a good job of getting bumped. We blitz this, right? And as you can see it early, and just kind of show it super, I know it goes quick, but like Joe does a really, really good job of getting bump right here, and it lets Wolf be like, all right, I'm going to go blitz him. So like if we blitz, y'all kind of see that just natural stack, like that natural stack look early. Like you just kind of see the idea of what it's going to be. So it basically just puts everybody on spot. He's throwing this ball here. You can see him kind of like reared up to throw this. We want this right here. We want this center. A lot of centers on 2K aren't very good. No knock to this guy. I thought he played fine, but it's like a lot of guys on center aren't very good with the ball when they have to make the decision, not just dunk or just throw the extra pass. So if we make this guy be a ball player where he's got to either stop and shoot this three, stop and go run and try to dunk this on our power forward, we live here. But to kind of give you an idea. So like that's kind of the first one. So let's get back to it. Let's go here. Okay, perfect. So in this scenario anyway, I think they go a little quick. So just to start, green light's already getting to the shooting guard. This is our shooting guard right here. This is Joe. Joe's going to get bumped, and Wolf is still kind of playing in between. So once this guy out, we actually want Joe more aggressive here. Wolf did a good job to speed him up. But if this happens, this is okay. Because if they wrap, CO just stays here. We can also have green light just go ahead and release it out there. Obviously, he did a bad job right here. They end up taking a bad shot steal. But to give you an idea, if they wrap it this late, we can have green light basically just take that same side corner. Because this basically turns into a triangle rotation. But basically, once this happens, if he goes here, we have him back on ball, like back on the back end. He's back on ball. This guy's rotating back into our shooting guard here. Obviously, we didn't do it the right way this time. We still forced a bad shot because there's a lot of movement here. But reality is green light needs to be releasing out of that corner, and or he can run to my corner. I dropped there, but it obviously easier to do that way. But that was kind of that possession anyway. So we'll go back, see what happens here. What do we do? Oh, smoke committee. We don't want to see that. That's bad hoops. All right, here we go. All right, so back to it. Dylan gets to the spot. All right, cool. So like just to start off, obviously it's automatic. So Joe's up. Wolf can play the run out. This is what we want. Me and CO are kind of figuring it out back here. As you see, we're basically in our stack rotation already early, so we have it where we want. This is what we want though right here. This is it. They're wasting hella time. By the time the ball gets back to the point guard, it's 15 seconds left on the shot clock. This is literally the ideal situation because now we're going to get out. CO's getting in it. We have Dylan getting back to that corner. Joe's getting there. He has 14 seconds to work. Obviously, CO gives it up, but it is what it is. Like if we play this a little bit more solid, we'd probably get a stop here because he has, like, Wolf played this really good when he gets on ball. Like right here, he has nothing. Like we live. CO just went up for whatever reason he did. So is what it is. So that's kind of the traditional version to run 3 guard. I'm gonna show y'all kind of the version of how we were running it against WizDG and kind of everything else, and kind of show you what it looks like when we do it that way. So if we do it here, let's watch. Which one is it? I think it was this one. Oh yeah, let's watch this one. All right. So in this one anyway, let me turn this off so you don't have to hear comms. So in this one anyway, we played it a little differently because how Greenlight, we were putting the point guard as the presser, and then we had the shooting guard basically be the guy to hold the hash. The reason we did this though is because we knew Gliz was super aggressive when he gets the ball. So the idea of it was if we can put Greenlight on ball to start, if he gets stuck on the point guard, we live. So we'll just go ahead and just kind of watch this through. All right, so let's see what happens. I don't remember what happens. Oh, we get a bucket. Cool. All right, so obviously same concept. So this is our point guard. He's going to be the presser. Our lockdown is basically here. So we're going to still have it to where this is PG here. I can't write. This is our lock. Our shooting guard is basically manning up Gliz. This is our shooting guard. And how we're doing it right here, we're still going to put our power forward on the stack side. And I'm going to be on the single side, wherever that is. So wherever that goes, that's how we're going to do it. But we're basically trying to make it to where Dylan can kind of bump. And if he has to get out late, he can get out late. So he gets bumped. So this is the ideal situation. We're playing numbers games now. So it's just a 4-on-4. So like even if Dylan's not in the play, we have our lockdown on their power forward. This is what we want. I'm playing the center. If he gets past me, we live. We have our power forward on the back end, and our shooting guard still behind half court, so we live. This is what we want. Obviously, I foul. Doesn't do anything for us, but kind of get the idea of it. And then let's go back. Let me go through. Let's get – okay, so I think they go quick here. So if once they start it, yeah, so obviously we're going to be late getting up, but it's still fine. We still get in it late. It's still a numbers game because at the end of the day, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we still have 1-on-1. So it is what it is. So Dylan gets out early. We rotate it out. If that kid hits 5 of them, bro, we live. Like that's how we have to just kind of realize what it is. Like if that's the guy that beats us, he beats us. We live there. So let's go here. We fouled that. All right. So we're back in it again. So obviously we can play this 2 different ways. If me and Minor want to switch, if Minor wants to play this pass and I play this pass, we can do it. But obviously you want your lockdown to be the more aggressive guy in the situation. So when he's coming up, Dylan gets burnt. So all we're going to do is just wrap him up. Oh, we didn't wrap him up. I lied. But he gets burnt, but we'll live there. It is what it is. So let's go. What happens right here? Oh, we get smoked. Let's go. All right. All right, so I think they hit the shooting guard on this one. So in this situation, he's going to wrap across. This is what we want. So we have 4 defenders. They have 3 guys up. So like ideally, this is a free trap. I don't think we played it that way, but that should be a reverse. You know, it ends up working out, but it's like to give y'all an idea. It's to make the guards that are aggressive uncomfortable. If we call a reverse or we trap this early, it's even better. Obviously, we played this really, really bad. But at the end of the day, Gliz is still looking to score because that's who he is. He wants to score. He makes the read late. We get a stop. But, like, ideally, if we stop this here, once he runs middle, this is our lockdown. So lock takes ball. We just reverse triangle. I take paint. We have a stop there, too. Obviously, we didn't do it that way, but we still get a stop. But it's like that's kind of the idea of why the press is so good. It just makes everybody involved on defense. It makes people move. Because Minor ends up getting in my corner late. That was just like one of those. I just went and made a play. But that's kind of the idea of what it looks like. So let's get back. All right. So back in it again. So this is the ideal situation. If we have the center inbounding, this is what we want. Because the center can't put the ball on the ground and really just run past the lock. So we're just basically going to have it shaded, shaded, shaded. Minor should play in between. This is what we want. 15 seconds now. 14 seconds now to go get a bucket. We're getting in it late. We rotate it back in. We'll get a stop. You know, it's just like it speeds everybody up. Like it's just one of those deals where we can make people move and we live. Obviously, I told Seth to go in it. This should be a free reverse though. Buzz ended up jumping, but it should be a reverse right there to kind of give y'all an idea. So, also too, if we get in these situations, and this is a rotation that I really, really want to kind of go over to, kind of leads me into the spot that I want. If you, for lockdowns that are out there that struggle with kind of being off ball and they want to be in the play and there's all kinds of different stuff, there's a rotation that exists that's called circle. All right. This rotation basically was made by Jerry or Sick One. Y'all don't even know who that is, but one of the best centers to ever play 2K in the comp level. Incredible player. Used to run on the Mavs. But basically the idea of this is if we do it right, there's nothing open. So obviously this is going to be a rotation to get the lock back on ball. So obviously this guy's running here. He's going to ball. This guy right here is running to the same side corner. So the shooting guard's going to go here. This guy right here is just running to the slip. The back end defender is going to run there to that side. And then our point guard's running up and taking this hash pass. If we're really, 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 really good, we can run this 2 or 3 times, and the stop is always going to be this hash pass. If your point guard likes to make plays, likes to get in the lane, this is going to be the read. He's going to come up here and just take this ball because what's going to happen is we're going to run it once. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to reset it. Obviously, whatever happens, happens. Once they feel like they know the rotation, they're going to try to dot this hash. That's what's going to happen. And the good thing is once you show this once, you can fake it. Now our lockdown gets a free one. There's different ways to go about it. Because how it kind of sits as it sits right now, everybody just runs stack or they run triangle, they run different stuff. But nobody really tries to fight to get their lockdown back on ball. Like that's kind of like an old school thing or like an old 2K thing anyway. To get this guy involved, I always feel like it's important. Because lockdowns, they are, as everybody knows, they have the worst off-ball defense. I think everybody knows that. So, but if you get them where they feel like they're important, where they feel like, okay, well, if I can play this, I can get this, this, and this done, that's obviously something you want. So we'll just kind of watch this, get through. Let's go back. All right, they foul. All right, so same situation we just talked about. They're coming up. They wrap it early, which is okay. We have Minor on the back end. That's another thing, too. It's perfect defense. Perfect defense. Just to kind of give you an idea, dude. This is like incredible defense. So they wrap early. Buzz fights through. We can stay like this. So we have basically running like what we're running 2 power forwards. Our power forward's in this corner. I'm in this corner. Minor can call whatever he wants right here. It doesn't have to be one rotation or the other. He can call a stack. He can call a reverse. He can call a reverse stack. He can call whatever the hell he wants, and we're going to get a stop. So like right here, we call a reverse. Obviously, I go 2, and, you know, it's one of those. We get a stop. And it's just, the game's just a little different when there's movement on the court for defense. Like, that's the big thing. Like, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed. So let's go here. Obviously, we don't press this play because it's the end of the quarter. So let's go back. All right, so we're back in the press. So Dylan's going to run up. Minor's coming up. To kind of give y'all an idea. So put Seth back up top. Ooh, Seth could have stole it. We live. Terrible take. We're living still. That's what we want. Make that guy make a play, right? Even though they get a board, like we're in a good spot. We put Seth in it right there because they put Gliz in the corner. They put 2-tack up top. Nothing there. We get a stop. We're there, right? So just to kind of give you all an idea, it just kind of speeds people up. We're going to do it again. We're back in it early. Like right here, Minor should blitz this, and he does. Like that's perfect. Because ideally, the big principle on this press anyway, right? Obviously, there's gonna be guys who are, I'm gonna stop and shoot the top of the K3 because I got 93 ball. We love that, bro. I promise we love that. You're not gonna make every one of them. We'll also step at you. We'll get a free stop. Once Spam gets here in this little spot, our power forward should be standing like right here, right? Because he can basically press square. He's gonna steal a corner pass, or it's gonna yank him right here to that slip, and then he should be good enough to play in between both. But ideally, once he blitzes this, Dylan just runs here, right? And then we just stack that. Obviously, we end up fouling. It doesn't end up working out. But, like, to give you an idea, that's a stop. Like, we'll live there. Like, if that center makes the read or makes the play, we're okay. So a lot of centers on 2K aren't very good. Like, so we're okay there. So let's see. Oh, this is half court. I don't care about this. So let's go here. All right, we go straight up there. Cool. We score. Okay, cool. All right, so we score. All right, so back in it again. So when we're like this, they brought up another shooting guard. We're still good, right? They have nowhere to throw the ball. Live. Nothing there. Because now they're frustrated, right? we've already gotten a couple stops. They got 15 points with 3 minutes left in the second quarter, and this is a team that has a bunch of guys that play at the pro level, guys they put in 16-hour shifts on this game, guys that are vet 15. They want to score the ball, right? Everybody on this game wants to score. I don't care what anybody tells you. There's very few people that love to play defense on 2K. So at this point, Two-Tack's getting a little antsy. So he wants to get up on the hash now. He's like, well, I know what I'm doing, whatever. So he gets up. Cool, right? They try to run a play. They rotate right into our press, right? We get a steal. Obviously, if he hit Two-Tack, it's probably open, but he makes the wrong read. It's a tough one, right? We'll live there. So we're right back in it again. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to show the same look. So, look, I'm playing center pass now. We're living right here. Cool. They go to show a cut. Perfect. Live here. Yeah, perfect. And this is what I was talking about, too, earlier in the first game we were watching. Dylan gets out on the same side here because why wouldn't he? We don't have to stack my side because he's already there. So, Seth gets to play the cut. Now he's back in it. We show a little trap. There's nothing there. Cool. We get a blitz. In every possession, they're starting, right? He hadn't took a dribble yet still hadn't took a dribble. The first dribble was taken at 9 seconds in this possession. And we blitz him off of the book. We blitz his move he does, get the ball from him, we're going the other way. Right? Just to give you all an idea of what it could be. And these are against the best players in the world. These kids that we're playing right here, they don't get off the game. They're incredible at the game. They've always been good at the game. So it's to give you all an idea, if y'all do it right, it's gonna work. Obviously, I'll break down, I'll have more videos coming out on how they beat the press, and I can show you what we should have done on top of that. But to give you all an idea. So let's go here. So I went over circle with y'all, I went over the 3-guard press, and I went over kind of where to release and stuff like that. Whenever the last rotation I'm gonna go over, just because I think it's important. It's gonna be hard to show it because we didn't run it in this game, but it's called heat. Okay. This rotation was made popular by the Heat when the league was still around. Dietrich and Kai and those guys, they would run this rotation a lot. And it always seemed to work. They had Matty at lock, super high IQ guy, could play a million spots on the court, was super solid. But this is how it would basically go. So in this situation, it wouldn't be like this. I would have to be on stack side. So I'll have to draw this out. So this would be me. Our point guard would be here. Okay. Obviously, everybody else stays the same. So you still have your power forward on the back end. You'll still have basically your shooting guard here, and your lock is going to be here. Okay. What Heat is supposed to do is, especially because this game is big on traps and it's big on kind of making people pick up the ball. You can get a jump ball. You win the jump ball. You get a 3-3. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into Comp 2K. The whole point of this is once Span catches the ball, you want your point guard and lock to basically trap him. Okay. Once this guy goes to the corner, so Jay Bullen's going to go there. Seth is then going to take the same side corner pass, but he's going to act like he's not. He's going to basically sit in this spot and act like he's not. What's going to happen is either the center is either going to slip it. He might pop it. If we pop it, we can shade here. It's fine. But what usually happens is he slips it. Once he slips it, if the point guard doesn't make the same side corner read, a lot of times they'll just throw the same side corner because they think the power forward is just playing 2. He'll throw the center pass, and all we're going to do is 5-man stack it. So point guard is staying on ball. Lockdown's going to release out to that hash. I'm dropping there. He's dropping here. So it's basically a reverse stack out of the corner. Obviously, there's a million ways to run the stack rotation, and I can get into that. Everybody calls it kings, or they call it whatever. I call it stack because it's a stack rotation. We're stacking where our guys are. We're getting them into play. The reality is, though, is you can run variations and layers out of each rotation you run. And there's going to be people in here, well, that's a 3-2, and that's a 2-3. No, it's not, right? At the end of the day, obviously they have the same principles, but if you sit in a 2-3 or a 3-2, you can manipulate those principles. This is a matchup, basically zone. Everybody kind of has their matchup. You're playing a man zone, basically. But you still want your best defenders in the spots to make plays. That's why in this rotation, we're putting our lock, basically, once he rotates out, he's going to play in between these two passes. So if that point guard holds onto the ball, we can just reverse that back. We can have basically that circle rotation we just talked about. We can just run it right back. So heat and circle kind of go hand in hand with each other depending on how you run it. But yeah, that's kind of everything I wanted to go over in this kind of video anyway. I've had a bunch of people ask me how to run the press, and there's different ways. I can show more videos on the press and different guys you can put up and kind of intertwine, but the principles stay the same. The whole idea of the press is for one, obviously to force TOs. And this game especially, it seems like a turnover is the best, by far the best defense, because everybody can shoot over you, everybody can shoot crazy shots, whatever. But Obviously, force TOs. You want to eliminate shot clock, slow down the game, make these guys really, really slow because a lot of people don't like playing slow. They can't play slow. And then the biggest thing is if their worst player is the center, if the worst player is the power forward, or whatever the case is, I'm big on making people play left-handed or making people play opposite-handed because if their center's not used to being the playmaker, their power forward's not used to being the guy, you want him to bring the ball up. You want him to walk into threes. You want him to try to go contact on something because at the end of the day, eventually they're going to mess up. But if you let a guy like Spam, Gliz, Tutak, Joe Knows, I don't know, whoever the top guards are nowadays, I don't know, Kilo Fading, like the guys that are really, really good with the ball and they can score at a high clip, they can make reads, they're good. You don't want those guys to have every possession where they're just walking up sky-free. You want the ball out of their hands. You want them to make reads. You want them to become non-aggressive. Because once they become non-aggressive, we're living, right? We live there. But yeah, man, I'm going to be posting build videos. I'll post like film breakdowns, animation videos, SIG, stuff like that. Because I've had a bunch of people ask me for different stuff. I'm going to start taking content very, very seriously again. Actually take it serious like this where I actually break down stuff and kind of get into it. But yeah, man, if y'all enjoy the video, obviously like, comment, subscribe. I'm not really good at this whole like YouTube, outro thing yet. But yeah, man, I'm really going to get into kind of what I see on 2K. And I feel like there's a lot of stuff that real basketball principles go into 2K. And there's a lot of stuff that people just don't do because they just don't, want to buy into something. But for guys that actually love Pro-Am, they love the rotations, they love stuff like that, man. Obviously, I have a ton of videos, a ton of knowledge on this stuff. I'll get into everything. But yeah, man, everybody that came by, obviously watch this video. I appreciate y'all. And just tune in for more stuff coming soon, man. Coming soon.